Okay guys, we got a new 360 camera from Akaso. And first thing we're going to do is set this thing up. English. Turn the brightness up, it's a little bit dim. Dual lens mode, we have 5.7K. So the big question here, how does it compare to Insta360? Well, first of all, it's a little bit smaller and a lot of bit cheaper. So this is an Akaso pole, and it's virtually very similar to Insta360. I've actually been using it because my Insta one broke. So I just was filming with Insta360, so let's put it in the same position side by side. So I decided to do a little bit of a test first, so I put it on the pole that it comes with and extended it way above my head to check the stabilization. So let's take a look. And the footage coming out of the Akaso is pretty acceptable, considering this camera is going to cost $199. Like, I could fully replace my Insta360 with the Akaso. It's not quite as good, but we'll go more into that a little bit later. The quality, the processing, it's got pretty good colors. So let's jump into the Insta360. So this is about 10 minutes later, and it's kind of weird lighting. Anytime you can see shadows on the ground, that's not good lighting for cameras. So the Insta360 X4 is one generation behind the X5, but the video processing quality is a little bit better. I think it has a bigger sensor. So we need to not look at the spec charts. You need to look at the processing, the post-production, what's going to go into YouTube itself. So a little bit of back-to-back footage. So we have Akaso on the bottom and Insta360 X4 on the top, and they're about 10 minutes apart. I paid like $400 or $500 for the Insta X4, and the Akaso is going to cost $200. They did send me the camera to make the review, so let's try to make it fair. I think it's a really good value considering it's less than 50% of the price tag. And Akaso did such an amazing job with the editing software. The footage is pretty good. So we're going to try this 360 mode on the Akaso. We're just going to go on the chest mount. Basically, the lower you can get the camera, the faster you're going to look. So I personally find the 360 footage on the chest mount to be a little bit more dynamic. It's like the absolute widest POV footage you can physically get. It is a little bit larger of a camera on your body, but what I like to do with it is basically put a pole mount on my handlebar and like film the shocks. There's a little bit of a blurriness on the bottom left of the screen. This is the reality of having a larger lens on the 360 camera. You got to be cleaning that thing quite frequently, and I kind of forgot. So this symbolizes less than ideal conditions for any kind of action cameras, like low light. So let's take a look at it. The Akaso does have a smaller lens, so it does need good lighting, but this is where 360 cameras absolutely obliterate single lens camera modes. We can do all kinds of look around things. The Akaso does have a single lens mode, but let's zoom all the way in. That's me. But what we want to do is wide angle shots, because they're kind of like the cinematic drone shot, and you're not allowed to fly drones here, so it's a pretty cool angle. I'm pretty impressed with the Akaso, especially considering its price tag and its acceptable footage and decent microphone. Now the absolute highlight of the Akaso camera is they made the software incredibly simple to use. So the reality of 360 cameras is they're a lot of work to edit the footage, and Akaso did an amazing job on this software.